Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with what is actually surprisingly a very heavily requested video. I get requests for this very often, actually, and I have been for actually a couple months now. So I figured now is the time to actually try out Symbiote Spider-Man up at rank 5. And let me tell you something, man. He really surprised me in a very, very good way. Back when I first started playing MCOC, there was like a deal that popped up, and it was $5, and it came with like 5 Spider-Verse champions, alright? And I got a 2-star Symbiote Spider-Man, which I didn't know at the time was an exclusive champ, and I used him throughout like Act 1 and Act 2, way back when I was playing the game for the first time. And I always had a very big soft spot for Symbiote Spider-Man, and on the live server, mine is only rank 2 unduped. And I've always he's always been that one champion, or one of many champions that I really would like to take up. You know, he'd be a really fun and nostalgic rank up for me to take up. But it's just I can't justify the T5B or the T2A in the state of the game currently to actually take him up on the live server, despite how good he actually may be. Now, personally, I think that Symbiote Spider-Man gets outshined by a lot of other, you know, champions in the game that do very similar things to what he does. However, man, let me tell you something. Don't be sleeping on this guy, because as I'll show you in this video, he hits pretty freaking hard, man. Like, my mind was kind of blown with this video. Now, keep in mind, he's a very, very old champion, and this is all he's got, man. His sig ability pretty much lets him evade after he does his special attacks. He has a 71% chance to increase his critical rating when he crits. His heavy attacks have a 100% chance to inflict an armor break debuff for 80 seconds. That's 1 minute and 20 seconds. And then also there was one other thing in his ability there that I forget exactly what it is. Oh, his special 2. His special 2 is guaranteed to crit. So you're always going to see a huge number from his special 2, alright? So he's one of those champions that you want to do parry, heavy, special 2. He's very, very, very simple. Now, let's look at this synergy here, alright? Spider-Man in black. This is with Stealth Suit Spider-Man here, and it says that heavy attacks inflict a vulnerability debuff for 9 seconds. Alright, so as you know, we're going to be doing parry, heavy, special 2, so we're going to consistently have that. Now, this is with Green Goblin here, okay? Seething Hatred, and this is critical hits generate 15% more power. So he has a very, very high crit rate, okay? We're going to be critting a lot. We also have that vulnerability debuff, and you're going to see in this video, we're going to be critting most of the time, and with that little synergy as well, we're going to be getting to a special 2 a lot faster, okay? So, right out the bat, we're going to do parry and heavy. Sometimes we'll do medium heavy. Right there, right at the beginning, not even ramped up yet, we're hitting a 9k heavy attack, 5k medium, 3k light. That is honestly not too terrible. Let's see how we do as we keep going. The heavy attack is 2 hits, okay? So if both of them crit, you're going to be doing at least like 12k, if not more. If both of them don't crit, you're not going to be doing too well at all. Right here, fresh out of the gate, we have a 45k special 2. That's not terrible, man. That's really not terrible. You know, once you get more ramped up, you're going to be hitting much higher numbers. Now, he has a very long reach on his heavy attack. That's something I really, really like about him. So you can very safely chain heavy attacks in the corner, because he kind of skates forward with his heavy attack. He has a little bit of ice skates, kind of like on Luke Cage's SP2 or SP1. He has those imaginary ice skates. But as you can see now, as we stack those armor breaks and we have that vulnerability debuff on, we're hitting harder and harder, man. Sometimes I'm doing medium heavy to push him a little bit closer to the wall, so I can even more safer do the double heavy. But now we're doing, look at this, that was about a 60k special 2. We're only 44 hits in the fight, and this Winter Soldier is almost dead, dude. That was over a 13k heavy, because we now have 14 armor breaks stacked. Now here's the thing, man. These armor breaks, they stack for 80 seconds at a time. So it really does seem like they're meant to just stack and stack and stack and stack and stack. Now, they last for such a long amount of time that they can be used for many things as well. For example, if you were to run the Despair Mastery and take this guy up against a very heal-heavy champion, like let's say Wolverine in Realm of Legends, he would be able to shut down Wolverine the entire time, because as long as you have 7 debuffs up on the opponent for the entire time, they won't be healing at all. Now, I don't really feel like getting through all of Realm of Legends right now, but just take my word on that Wolverine would not be healing even one bit during the fight. Now here we finished that fight in 75 hits in about 90 seconds. That's really not bad, man, for a 2015 champion. So we're gonna move on to some actual content here that's actually a lot more impressive with this guy. So this is that 6.4.2 crit me with your best shot path. You're only going to be doing damage during critical hits. There's also tunnel vision, so I can't do the same thing over and over, but I can do parry heavy without any penalties. So I've taken this path with a lot of champions. I've tested a lot of people here. Let's see how Spidey does, man. One thing that is a little rough about Spidey is that his health pool isn't the highest, and neither is his block proficiency, and he's not, I don't want to say he's suicide unfriendly, but he isn't the most suicide friendly champion in the entire world, only because he is a bit of a glass cannon, and you will see that when Joe Fixit tosses off that special 1 into our block. But here we got to the first special 2, and he's already down to 60% health. Now this guy has about 300,000 health, give or take, and look at that, that heavy attack was close to 20, was a little more than 20k actually. So keep in mind, we're only doing damage when we crit here, okay? Any regular attack, no damage at all. If we have the falter, if we get the falter on us from tunnel vision, what we can do is we can parry medium heavy, and the medium will take away the falter, and then we can hit him with the heavy attack, stack more armor breaks, possibly crit. Yeah, if one part crits, that's great. I'm more so focused on building up to the special 2 here, because the special 2 is a guaranteed crit. So I feel like in the thumbnail of this video, I'm probably gonna put like low budget Corvus or something like that, because honestly, man, he really does remind me of Corvus. He's hitting really hard. Like even his medium attacks are hitting like Corvus with like 1 charge, you know, maybe a 5-star or 2 charges. His special 2 is a guaranteed crit. It's not hitting as hard as Corvus' special 2, but he actually gets there a lot faster, especially with the Green Goblin synergy, and it's a guaranteed crit every single time. Now of course it's lacking the utility that Corvus has. You know, he doesn't have the immunities, he doesn't have the you know, power drain on special 2, crit on block, guaranteed crits on every single hit except for the first light attack, but the essence of like getting up to a special 2 and tossing off an unblockable special attack, that's what reminds me of Corvus, and just those big yellow numbers from the Cosmic class. Now look at that reach from that heavy attack, dude. That was a really nice reach from the heavy attack. I feel like I never really have to worry about that whiffing too much. In all of my testing with this guy, I haven't really missed on the heavy attack too often. Like right there, I mean, also it, you know, it comes with learning your spacing. You could pretty much counter Heimdall's heavy attack with almost every champion as long as you have a good idea of the spacing that goes into it. But here it's very simple, and we're going through this path very easily. He's just smashing right through it, man. You know, the Green Goblin synergy is definitely not 100% necessary, and neither is the Stealth Spidey one, but they both are very nice to have. As you can see, that one heavy attack just gained a bunch of power for us, which is really great, because that means we're even closer to a special 2 now. So that's another good reason here on this path to do parry medium heavy, because it's going to get you closer to a special 2, and if you crit, you do some damage, that's really great, but if you don't crit, you're still getting that power, and you're getting closer to a special 2. Here I'm just going to finish it off with a regular combo. I think I do a parry, and or go for a special 2, a nice 51k special 2. Very nice. We have one more fight on this path here, and that's going to be the Sentinel, and he does really good against the Sentinel, man. Like, you know, usually when you fight a Sentinel, you don't want to build analysis charges, because then you don't crit and you do no damage and the fight goes on forever. But with Spider-Man here, you don't really got to worry about that. You don't got to worry about the analysis, because the special 2 is always going to be a guaranteed crit. He's also a Cosmic champion, so it is a lot easier to go around building the analysis, and I feel like I end the fight at a very low analysis, and I think I did really well in this fight managing that analysis. how many times can I say analysis without it starting to sound weird? But it's just the same strategy here. We want to stack those armor breaks up. We want to get out of that special 1 without taking too much of it on the block. At this point, we can chain our heavy attack into our special 2. We did like parry the first hit into the heavy, into the special 2. We ignored the second part, just to make it go a little bit faster here. Sometimes when I fight Sentinel, I like to back up, do a light attack, and back up again so he doesn't build analysis. It's not 100% necessary, but it's just something I do to make the fights go a little bit faster so he doesn't start getting more physical resistant. Yeah, man, I mean, there's not even too much more to say here. It's just building right back up to that second special 2, and that should like just about do it, you know? As you can see, I see a lot of value with that Green Goblin synergy. Unfortunately, it is kind of hard to justify bringing Green Goblin along and high on content. Stealth Spidey is a champion that I take almost like everywhere. Honestly, I take him to AQ, AW, questing, pretty much literally everywhere. So I feel like it's very, very fair to say, you know, bring along Stealth Spidey with your Symbiote Spider-Man. Now, Symbiote Spider-Man is definitely a decent candidate for like a 2015, 2016 Cosmic Rank-Up gem. I can't really recommend you use Tier 2 Alpha or Tier 5 Basic on him, especially if you have other options. But as you can see, if you have like all of your other champions like Hyperion and Venom already ranked up, he could be a great option, man, for a little bit of fun, even at rank 4. So now we're actually going to go onto one of the hardest paths in all of Act 6, and that's the energy adoption ice and diss track path here, okay? What this basically means is that if you hit the defender, you're going to get a cold snap debuff on you unless you armor break the opponent. And as you know now, Spider-Man armor breaks the opponent with every single heavy attack here. So right off the bat, we're not going to get cold snapped. However, there is a bubble shield, so that's going to be hurting our block efficiency as well, which is already kind of low. But this is a fight that a lot of people struggle with, and on the whole path they struggle with it really, and that's also because of the diss track here. If you don't know how to dex Punisher Special 1 or Special 2, it could be especially problematic because you're going to take a lot of those hits on the block, and then that's just going to build up the bubble shield here. But here with diss track, we're putting 3 debuffs on him right away: the weakness, the vulnerability, and the armor break. Here I got clipped a little bit there just because I wasn't ready for that second Special 1 right away, but I think you get the point. I just wanted to show you the idea of why he can work on this path, and look at this damage, man. Not too bad, fresh out of the gate, 35k. That was with no ramp up whatsoever. Now there is one more fight that I want to show you, and it's a fight that honestly impressed me a lot here. I recorded all this footage, and then late last night I had an idea when I was laying in bed, and I grabbed my phone and I went to do it right away, and I took him up against Abyss Iron Man Infinity War, dude. And let me tell you, he really impressed me against Abyss and Infinity Man here. Now, the way Iron Man works is that every 10 hits, he's gonna gain all of the power that you have, okay? Unless there's an armor break on him. As you know by now, one of like the 3 things that Spidey does is armor breaks. Now, obviously, when you're playing in this style, you're going to be tossing off a lot of special 2s. If you're running the Suicide Masteries, recoil is going to get you eventually. I feel like I could have gotten this guy down to like 25% if I took off the Suicide Masteries and just played it a lot slower. Quite frankly, I don't really feel like spending 20 minutes doing that right now. I'm just going to leave this fight here though, dude. Spidey did really, really well. Just double parry, re-parry. If he goes for a heavy attack, go for dash back once, go for your heavy attack. If you get the parry, go for a heavy, and then build up to a special 2 and toss it off. You're going to do some decent damage, man, against a decently tough Abyss boss, man. So yeah, man, I mean, in 2020 compared to like Corvus and Hyperion, Medusa, Captain Marvel movie, even Cull Obsidian, some other cosmic options, you know, obviously Spider-Man Symbiote, he falls on the back burner as one of the, you know, worst champs in the cosmic class. Although that seems to be like the idea about him, but I don't know if I would call him one of the worst, man. Like, he really impressed me in this video, and maybe it's the Stealth Spidey synergy that nobody talks about, combined with the Green Goblin synergy, but he did really, really well, man. If you play it slow, if you're in a very regular matchup, and you can just do parry heavy special too, you're gonna have a fun time with this guy. But with all that being said, that's gonna be it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. I honestly had a really fun time playing around with this guy. I hope you had a fun time watching it. If you did, please do me a favor and drop a like. Comment what you think about Symbiote Spider-Man in the comment section below, and subscribe if you want to see some more content coming to you very, very soon. I'll be seeing you around. And I'll let this Iron Man fight fizzle out, alright?